We'll get started. Again, thank you, everybody, for joining. I think we'll still have a couple more people trickled in, but want to be respectful of everybody's time. Welcome again to our Open Office Hour series. Today's topic is on machine learning and NetSuite, specifically on our Crowe data anomaly detection product. My name is Alejandro Alvarez. Most of you know me. I've been hosting these webinars for a while. But I've also have Sabrina Voller, who's part of our team, and she's going to be, once I finish with the presentation, she's going to actually get into NetSuite and show us the product live. So we're very excited to have you and to show you this, and we'll get started. So what do we come up with this product? There's a couple different reasons, but research says that there is globally about, there's several $1 trillion that are lost globally due to fraud, and that businesses lose, up to $500,000 on a mid-sized business or kind of larger sized business in occupational fraud. And this is just employees or errors and employees just not doing the right thing. And those can happen very easily, even with great controls of systems like NetSuite. But they're sometimes hard to identify unless you have somebody that is looking at that actively. And what we've done is leverage machine learning and artificial intelligence to analyze data in real time, and based on machine learning technology, alert you and provide information when transactions just look wrong. And that could be because there is a mistake, or it could be because there's a fraud that's being created within the company. And that's what we want to show you today. Artificial intelligence it's more and more prevalent in everything we do. We have it in our phones every day. We have it with Google every day. So we've incorporated some of that into NetSuite. Oracle is incorporating that into NetSuite as well, but Crowe has been in the forefront of machine learning for a few years now, related to specifically to accounting, to forensics accounting, and what we've done is incorporate that into NetSuite. So basically, what we've done is, have the machine analyze data at a very deep level with minimal human intervention, and then have humans, the employees, assigned to do this or to help with this, validate information so that you can then keep learning and keep teaching the machine how to work for your specific business. And that's one of the beauties of machine learning. It is adaptable. And this really started a few years ago at Crowe, in our forensics accounting department, where we were engaged with a client that needed us to validate over 16,000 work contracts and identify if there was any type of fraud or mistakes in those 16,000 contracts. And we were doing this at that point, or we were tasked with doing this manually by going through Excel and dumping information into Excel and analyzing things based on specific rules that the client provided to our team. And you can see some of the rules here. For example, PO amounts, POs that are over the PO awarded amount, and those were rules that we would create macros and rules in Excel to be able to identify that. And that just took weeks of multiple employees doing that. And basically, you could see some of the way that data over time, right? Statistical information, right? It just dictates that if you have large amounts of data, it always follows sort of a bell curve shape, that data, and that's the way that machine learning works, is trying to identify some of those patterns and quickly identify those extremes that are not within that statistical accuracy and statistical accepted information. But we're humans and we can only see things in 1 or 2 dimensions. It's hard to see things in 3 dimensions or more dimensions, and that's where machine learning can come in, right? A machine can learn and can see data in a limited number of dimensions with the right technology and the right horsepower. And we at Crowe are using Azure DevOps, we're using Azure to drive our machine learning application that looks at data in multiple dimensions and can analyze that data and compare those dimensions in more than just a couple, the two dimensions that we as humans can very easily see. And once we incorporated as part of that exercise, we incorporated machine learning. We were able to get the same results. So the manual human analysis detected 37 records, and our machine learning detected, and that was over weeks and months, and our the machine learning application detected the same 37 contracts, but in a fraction of the time. Obviously, we developed the technology, but once it ran, it did it in a fraction of the time, and getting to the same results. So at that point, we realized we were onto something, and have been using that from the forensics accounting and audit departments, using not NetSuite necessarily, but using directly information that is extracted from our customer CRP systems and accounting systems, and uploading into the machine learning application via an API that we've developed, and done it that way. And so what we thought was, well, why don't we do that with NetSuite? We don't need to download and upload. Why don't we just get NetSuite talking to this machine learning app and provide us the similar results? And that's what we'll see in a few minutes. And just to put it in layman's terms, so this is what, basically what we can compare in order. We can compare quantity versus price, or we can compare a price versus an employee. Is an employee using different price than another employee for the same item when they're buying it? Am I always using small quantities, and then Sabrina's always putting large quantities on her POs? Is that accepted? Is that the way it's supposed to be? And this is what we can see, very quickly. But the machine can look at all three things, can say employee, price, and quantity in thousands of transactions very quickly, and see where the patterns are just not right. And you can see here, for example, this is what happens when you have an anomaly that's detected by the application. The application gives each transaction a score. And we'll see that, and that transaction, based on different ways of different types of machine learning, allows you to be confirmed, where you can go in and, as a user, confirm whether that's an anomaly based on your thresholds. And if that's an anomaly, then the machine learns that you actually confirmed that was an anomaly, and it keeps learning and relearning. But then you can have, and you can see here how it moves in different dimensions, and you can see how it compares in this case, the 3 dimensions, and how the machine, obviously with algorithms, dictates that is an anomaly. But then you can have another transaction that looks like an anomaly because it's far away from the standard, from the cluster of other transactions. But in this case, you can tell the machine to ignore it. You can go in, and maybe you had a one-time large order from a customer, or you had a one-time large order to a vendor because they had a special price, they were going out of business, whatever situation, and you don't want the machine to flag that as an anomaly. It may be an anomaly, but it's an accepted anomaly, and the machine will learn and know that that specific transaction was okay, even though it seemed like it was anomalous or erroneous at the beginning. And again, what we've done is, we've taken every record in NetSuite, based in configuration. We give you options of doing every transaction type or certain transaction types. We have I think we have 12 transaction types that we already included in our product, including purchase orders, sales orders, invoices, vendor bills, journal entries, checks, etc. And then we have two functionalities within our application. One is user-defined rules engine, and the user-defined rules engine is an engine based on criteria that you create that allows you to flag that transaction for you to review at a human level. And with that, we can create dashboards, we can create reports that allow you to look at that transaction and flag it, immediately. And this happens immediately as the transaction gets created, in real time. And then we have the process of sending that transaction through the machine learning application. And that is an overnight process, just for processing power and processing speed. We send a batch of transactions overnight to the machine learning app. This resides outside of NetSuite, and the machine learning app analyzes overnight, depending on the volume. It can be minutes or hours, and then that is transmitted back to NetSuite to update that record, and then that record is updated with a score that you can then, at random, you can confirm or deploy or ignore as you see fit, as your processes allow you to, and your time allows you to. It's not meant to be very time consuming, but the confirm or ignore basically really allows the machine to learn. It always keeps learning, but it's more directed learning, and that is all populated back into the NetSuite. Finally, this is a product that has been, most of you may be familiar with suiteapp.com. So we are a product that has been certified by NetSuite. So we do meet all the protocols to become an official Suite app. It is a hybrid Suite app because it resides both within NetSuite and outside of NetSuite, not just inside of NetSuite, but it is a Suite app. And we are looking for, in this case, or right now, this is a newer product, and we are looking for interested prospects and clients like yourselves to join our beta program, which is a free program, to test it and see if this machine has benefits for you. Whether you think that you have errors in your operation, or it can help you with audit processes, it can help you reduce expenses. There's different factors that can make this attractive. And we'd like to, if you're interested, please contact me or Sabrina so that we can find out more information and talk about our beta program for this. With that said, I will stop sharing and give control to Sabrina, who will spend about 10 to 15 minutes walking us through the application in NetSuite.
Yes, please let me know when you can see my screen.
We can see it, yes.
Great. So Crowe data anomaly detection is a very simple tool, as Alejandro highlighted. This tool can be used for many transaction types, including purchase orders, item receipts, vendor bills, bill payments, sales orders, item fulfillments, invoices, cash sales, payments, journal entries, bank deposits, and credit card lines. And this solution, as Alejandro mentioned, uses two engines, including the user-defined rule engine, which we set up using NetSuite Save Search functionality. So we can create a rule for any business need that you would want. And if a transaction is to violate this rule, then it would simply be flagged and can easily be reviewed by your business. And the other engine is the artificial intelligence machine learning engine, which analyzes the transaction based on all the criteria within the transaction. And as a result, Crowe's artificial intelligence machine learning engine can identify anomalies by analyzing transactions at a deeper level than what is possible by human intelligence. So upon initial installation, we would set this up by creating a suspect historical, and we would select a date. And from this date onward, all the transactions would be included in the anomaly detection for analysis, and also set the basis of what is normal for your business. And then going forward, all transactions will automatically be included for Crowe's artificial intelligence machine learning engine to analyze. So to demonstrate this, we're going to create a new purchase order. So we're going to buy 2,000 20-inch wheelchairs, okay, for our purchase order. And we're going to buy this for Class Furniture, location in San Francisco, and Department of Sales. So when we create this purchase order, what we call a suspect record is then created. And a suspect record is basically a snapshot of all the data contained in the purchase order that will be sent to the machine learning engine for analysis. So now that this purchase order has been created, we can view the suspect record. And today, since the suspect record is still going to be sent to the Crowe data anomaly detection for review, we're going to view one that I have already created and has already received a score. So in this purchase order, we see that it has received a score of 0.798. So to further investigate this transaction, we can navigate to the Explanations tab. Here we have a list of field names along with a list of scores. The list of field names is all the dimensions that are analyzed by the artificial intelligence machine learning engine. And the scores are their weight in contribution to the anomaly score. You can also see that there are some negative numbers here. This is not an error. This is due to the fact that these fields actually contribute to this transaction being more of a normality than an anomaly. But we still see that there's many fields that could contribute to it being an anomaly. This is actually the newest functionality that we have developed for Crowe data anomaly detection. We have heard from clients that they wanted an easier way to see which fields needed to be further investigated. So we came up with these weights. So we can see that the line amount followed by created by and also department and item are some of the top contributors. If we navigate to the purchase order by user tab, we can see that this purchase order created by Mahima was for a line amount significantly larger than any of our other purchase orders. To investigate this further, we can go to the purchase order by item. And here we see that this item was created for an amount significantly larger than the other time it was purchased. And then this purchase order is the purchase order I just created that mimicked this. And if we go to purchase order by department, we can also see that this line amount is significantly larger than any other line amounts for the department. So why is Mahima making such a big purchase order for this item for this department? That may be something to further investigate. And now we're going to view another purchase order with the anomaly score of 0.797. And we can see that the line amount, created by, and location are some of the top contributors. If we go to the purchase order by item tab, we see that Sabrina has purchased this item only one time out of the 120 times that it has been purchased before. and also has bought an amount significantly larger than all the other amounts, along with a quantity and rate significantly different. So let's say we have investigated this anomaly and decided that it was in fact an anomaly. Here we click Confirm Anomaly and we can select a reason code. These reason codes are also created upon setup, and we can add as many reason codes as desired. So we can say that this was an invalid process, and let's say Sabrina used the wrong rate. And this is for record keeping purposes and future references. So when we click Save, the anomaly will now be confirmed, and this will be sent to the machine so they know that future transactions that mimic this transaction are very likely to also be an anomaly. So we're going to see how the machine learning element works now. In this transaction, we can see that line amount followed by has a very high approximate weight. So if we go to line amount by item, we can see that this transaction mimics the purchase order 1012 identically. So why is this considered an anomaly? Well, if we go visit purchase order, the other purchase order, we see that this was in fact confirmed an anomaly. So as a result, our system has given it an even higher score. Now we're going to investigate the user-defined rules. To see which transactions violate the user-defined rules that have been created to your specific business, we're going to navigate to the suspect record purchase order lines. Then we're going to filter by the user rule. And now we can see all the transactions that have violated a user-defined rule. So similarly to confirming an anomaly, we can also do a user rule disposition, which will also include reason codes that can also be created on setup. So we can say that this was a valid exception and write an explanation. And submit. And now, for future review, this user-defined rule will not appear as one that has not been reviewed. We have also created a dashboard. The Crowe Data Anomaly Detection Dashboard was created to make reviewing your transactions easy and fast, so you can spend more time on the business tasks at hand and less time on worrying about errors and potential fraud. This dashboard includes color-coded tables for the various transaction types that show the top 10 most anomalous transactions that have not been confirmed as an anomaly or normality yet, but they have received scores. This can help you quickly determine which are the most important transactions to be reviewed. We can also see that this dashboard has these KPI meters. These show the number of transactions that violate a user rule that have not been dispositioned and reviewed yet as well. On top of this, we have the ability to set up any alerts or summaries that your business could want, including daily digests, alerts when a transaction exceeds a certain score specific to your business, or weekly summaries of your transactions. As a result, Crowe Data Anomaly Detection is a tool that is designed specifically to your business to help your business run smoother and alleviate concerns of possible fraud or errors. And as I said before, it is a truly customizable tool that will learn your business and can help in many areas. So this wraps up today's demo of Crowe Data Anomaly Detection. And if anyone wants to drop any questions in the chat, we would be happy to answer those.
I don't see any questions right now, but we'll give everybody a minute or two. And if not, if we don't get any questions, we'll end up the meeting in a couple of minutes. Thank you again for your participation. Hopefully this was insightful. It tells you what NetSuite can and do, and what how Crowe's in the forefront of technology, and really appreciate your participation. We'll hang around for a couple of minutes and end it in a couple of minutes as well. Thanks.